Welcome back to Metal RC, guys. Got a little something working different here. Got some footage from where I was building the recovery rig transmission. Decided to do a little bit of voiceover on this, see how this works. This is a little something new I'm working with. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think. So without further any rambling or any other bullshit, let's get right to it here. So first thing we're starting out with is the transmission from the Scx10 the first truck, not the Scx10 2, or I guess version 1. We'll call it that, version 1. Got it from a friend. Wife got all pissed off at him, destroyed the freaking truck over the past, at this point probably a year. I've been rebuilding this truck, doing the best that I can. I've actually had it running once before, but then I completely tore it down and started redoing it. So now here we are here. At this point here, I just pointed out to you the 3 spots where the screws go in, holding in the plate that goes behind the spur gear and the actual mounting plate for the motor. At the end of this video, you will see the transmission completely assembled with the motor on the end of it. I won't apply power to it yet, but it will be completed. Somewhere along the lines, I lost the original footage that I had of all of this, where I built the transmission completely. Tore it all down, cleaned it all up, actually added some brand new gears to it. At this point I had upgraded to metal gears. Like I said, I don't exactly know what happened to that footage. Somehow it's gone. I apologize for that. Who knows, maybe I'll blow something up in here and I'll have to do it again. Either way, I'm gonna have to clean it at some point, so maybe I'll make another video. Moving forward, just about done with the screws over here. We're gonna start putting in the last one right now. After this last screw here, we move forward to the next part, which I believe I start installing the spur. So there we go. There's the plates all put in place where they're supposed to be, nice and snug. Now remember, you don't want to tighten down too much. For the most part, you can get kind of tight because that plate is metal on the other side, and that is what the screws are screwing into. But you want to be careful. Now right here is a little counter pin. This is going to go right through the center of the shaft. Your spur gear is going to sit down right on top of that. You want to make sure you get it in there just right. Doesn't have to be perfect, because when you slide the spur gear down on top of it, you're going to probably wiggle it around a little bit and it'll work just fine. Here I am fumbling around with it with my big ass fingers. Just make sure you keep an eye on it. It's a tiny ass little part. It sucks if you lose it too, because you're pretty much dead in the water. Now this is just, wow, that's embarrassing. All of this work that I did on this thing, and I didn't even think to put that down. Totally forgot about cleaning that. I should have cleaned that first. That right there is actually going to be the slipper clutch that's going to go on before the spur gear. I mean, I had cleaned up the top part, but I didn't clean the bottom. Oh well, guys, who knows what I was thinking at this point. Like I said, this video has been something I've been trying to get out for quite a while, but had no video or had no memory on my phone, because I literally do everything on my phone. But now I've got a little something working here, and now we're doing voiceovers, so we're gonna see how this one works. Move forward here, we start going to put on the spur gear now. Now there's 3 screws for this as well. There's a whole crap ton of holes on the spur gear, but it all depends on, I suppose, which slipper you're using. There's many holes on that spur gear, and this is the stock spur gear that comes with the transmission to begin with. So there's many different options for a slipper clutch behind there. The clutch that I use happens to also be the stock slipper clutch. I haven't done any kind of upgrading to it, and as you can see, didn't even clean it. 3 screws go in. There's little washers that go on top of the screw, go right under the screw before inserting through the spur gear. Now once again with these, you don't want to get them like mega freaking tight or anything like that and snap the heads off, or who knows what could go wrong. You just don't want to do it. Take it easy, take your time. That we can get this thing done and have fun. And right there you can see where I get it nice and snug and then just kind of wiggle the driver out of there and call it good. No reason to get too crazy with that. I've been building these transmissions long enough now that I'm pretty confident that when they're just snug like that, they're not going anywhere. And I put these things through hell. So here goes another washer, followed by the spring, and then we'll have the nut over the top of it. Now at this point, just like I'm doing right there with my 2 fingers, you're going to hold on to the spur gear to hold everything nice and still. Usually you'd use your little danger zone 4-way cross wrench. I wonder if that made it into my recording. This is the downside of videos, of doing everything on your phone, guys. So normally you would use your little 4-way cross wrench that comes with just about any kit, any ready to run, anything like that, or maybe even you have a ratchet with that size. I was being lazy here. I happen to have a pair of multi-tool pliers, and that's what I used. The nut that I had to begin with anyhow was already chewed up, as you can see, so it's not like I was worried about saving anything. I did the best that I could with it. Now, general rule of thumb for this, from what I've gathered from everybody else and what's always worked best for me, I always tighten it all the way down and then back it off a couple turns, so that way you get that nice little bit of slip in case you need it, instead of just blowing your transmission or whatever the case may be. Give yourself a little bit of slip in there. Maybe you can just tighten it all the way down and leave it like that. It's up to you. Different strokes for different folks. This is just what works for me. So here is now where I'm grabbing the pinion gear. Now what I'm doing is I'm not actually tightening this all the way down. I'm just getting it on there, and I'm getting it just kind of snug so that way I can still slide it. And just like that. That way it just makes it easier for me when I get it all set into place. I just put the gear on, and it's pretty much like a half a turn or so, and I'm tight. Now right about here you can see where I've usually always had the motor mounted, so it's kind of cheating, but when you get a brand new plate you might have to figure all of this out. At that point you can use a couple of different methods. Some people have used the piece of paper method in between the spur and pinion. Tighten it down, pull the piece of paper out. I am no different. I use that as well. Like I said in here, I kind of went a little different. There we come. We're going to start getting in this last screw here. Get that nice and tightened down. Now here I think I may have fully tightened down right here. I don't know what I was thinking, because I still had to put the spur gear on. I end up having to loosen this up, reposition the motor once the pinion's on. Let's see that. There we go. That was pretty much it right there. It's tight. Now see, there's just a little bit of play there. I didn't like what I saw. Once again, I'm just kind of like, oh, you freaking idiot. So loosen it up a little bit. Just kind of squeeze the motor in a little more. You can see the screws are off just a little bit. There we go. Now you tighten them all down. Now these here, you can go pretty tight with these. I still like to stick by my story and say that you don't want to get too crazy with this, folks. But you can get a little little tighter with these. That way the motor is nice and tight. As you see, everything is going nice and good. Everything was nice and smooth. I had no worries. This transmission and motor is ready to go into the truck. Thanks for watching, guys.